A day without a woman, and then ideally maybe only the women in the crowd will say, is a day without me. All right, are you ready?
Ready?
Are you ready? Let's sound like we're ready. Okay, great, all right. Right, so a day without a woman
It's a day without me.
a day without a woman
It's a day without me.
a day without a woman.
It's a day without me.
Yeah, thank you.
Y'all fired up? All right, let's hear it again.
A day without a woman.
It's a day without me.
A day without a woman.
It's a day without me.
A day without a woman.
It's a day without me.
We can only hope.
I'm too literal. I was like factually that's true.
Everybody loves it. Baby is a star. Strawberry today.
What about behind this thing?
We are live with the Women's March right now at Central Park. We're at the corner of 59th Street and 5th Avenue. So tell us in the comments, if you're not with us in New York, where are you watching from?
Yeah, we'll make it some TV. All we have. Which is great.
Guys.
It's not going so well. Is it on the way to Brooklyn?
Who's keeping a track of time? I am. Okay. You're keeping track of time? Yeah. Okay, good.
1 p.m.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you said that because literally 10 minutes ago I was going to say I never but then that sounded really assuming.
That you like just really wanted by Chloe?
No, that like I would just like assume that I Chloe is one by one. That's it is like by Chloe. Oh, is that what we're lunch doing my research?
Women's rights are human rights. Women's rights are human rights. Women's rights are human
celebration and a good problem to have. The same good problem we had at the Women's March on Washington. So the good problem that we have is that there's so many fabulous people out here, and there are other people who may not be with us that are trying to get up and down the sidewalk. So, if you are on the actual sidewalk, we need you to not be on the sidewalk. So you got two choices. You either get up there, which doesn't look like there's any space for you, or you go down this block to 58th Street and there's space back there for you to be part of this larger group. So we need people off the sidewalks, So if you keep going back to 58th Street, which is just down the street on the corner, there will be an opening for you to join this larger group of people that are here. And also, if we need more space, we still have another street that is open for us between 58th and 57th Street. Am I making that up? Yeah, 58th and 57th, right up there, already. Yeah. So basically what you're doing is you marching people down the street. See, the leaders of the line are doing what they need to do. Oh, we got something planned that you're all going to be a part of. Don't you worry. Instructions at the end of the program. Yeah, so we just widened up the space, so there's more space in here. If people want to get in here.
Get it? Can we get it before and after? No? Kind of great. Trivia question? Straw And then I remember I have to
How's everybody doing today? I'm gonna try that one more time. It's New York City. How you guys doing today? That's better. So I'm honored to introduce to you one of the national co-chairs for the Women's March on Washington. Please give it up to Bob Bland and her baby Chloe.
Thank you, Linda. And thank you to everyone who's here today. This is a Day Without a Woman, and it's also International Women's Day. So let's give it up for all the women around the world who are demonstrating today. As one of the national co-chairs of the Women's March and one of the co-founders, I could have never envisioned what we did together on January 21st in Washington and around the world. We created the largest mass mobilization in U.S. history. And we prove that together, when women stand in unity together, in solidarity, there is absolutely nothing we can't accomplish. So today we're going to have some speakers that are going to talk about their experiences, because today we are standing together in unity and solidarity in a much darker time than 6 weeks ago. And we must stand together, we must hold each other, and we must fight for each other even more than on January 21st. So I'm gonna give it up to our next speaker. Nalini Stamp from Working Families Party.
Hey, New York, what's up? I stand before you as a proud daughter, as a Boricua, as a girl from Brooklyn and Staten Island, New York, as someone who works with workers and is wearing an old school Justice for Janitor shirt. Trump does not have respect for women, but he also doesn't know the power of women. Despite attempts by Trump and Republicans to diminish women, we know our value, and we know that America doesn't function without us. We know that this globe doesn't function without us. 2 years ago when I visited Palestine, I had a woman tell me that women will be the leaders of the revolution because we birth half the population and we are half the population. Today I strike for every woman who, like me, couldn't pull together enough money to afford college and had to work a 9-to-5 job and a retail job, or went into massive debt because they had to pay to go to college. I strike for every incarcerated woman out there because women are the fastest growing population behind bars, and enough is enough. I strike for every woman and every family torn apart by deportations, and for every woman told in large ways and small that we are less than men. I strike for trans women who keep on being murdered on our streets, and I have said enough. There is a massive resistance movement that is growing. We are a part of it, but we need to put our bodies on our line. We need to stand up for black women. We need to stand up for Palestinian women. We need to stand up for Southeast Asian women. We need to stand for all women. Because equal pay is not just equal pay for white women. I love y'all. But equal pay should be equal pay for all of us. And we should not go to sleep knowing that we can go home and die. So I leave you with this song. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around, turn us around, turn us around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. We're gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching on the freedom land. Thank you, New York.
Give it up one more time for Nalini Stamp and the Working Families Party. Sisters and brothers, my name is Linda Sarsour, and I was one of the national co-chairs for the Women's March on Washington. A proud Palestinian Muslim American born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. So I just want to get a few things straight. These fights are old fights. Equal pay is an old fight. Reproductive rights is an old fight. Immigration and immigration reform, racial justice and economic justice. These are old fights. People sacrificed for all of us to be able to come and stand here today. And I want to send a message for folks out there talking about strikes being an act of privilege, because that statement comes from people who lack an understanding of history. So, we honor the women who striked in the Montgomery bus boycotts. Are those privileged women? What about the farm workers that said we will not pick this produce without workers' protections? Were those people privileged? No! Sisters and brothers, the movements that we are all a part of have always been led by those who have the most to lose. Social justice movements are not convenient, because if they were convenient, there'd be millions of people out in these streets. It has always been a concerned few who have made the most impact and change in our society. The question is, do you want to be part of that small concerned few that makes our society better for all people? And I want to talk to those who call themselves feminists. If your feminism doesn't include all women, if it doesn't include the hijab that I wear on my head, we don't need your feminism. Feminism must include all women, and yes, including Palestinian women resisting in occupied territories. Today, we stand for all women, women who have lost their children to police violence, to gun violence. We stand for undocumented women who every single day have to be worried about being separated from their families. We stand with poor and working class women who continue to struggle to feed their families every single day. So I want you to understand that your statement that you're making today is part of a long history of women who have led us in social justice movements. What makes it different now? Now we have an open, sexist, misogynist, anti-women president who is going to understand that women are leading the resistance against this administration. Someone asked me, they said, Linda, how are you going to maintain this resistance over the next 4 years? I said, I don't really have to do much. The president is doing a damn good job by his damn self every single day. So I ask you today, those who are striking, to remember that you not only strike for yourself, but you strike for women who could not strike today. And that you keep your feet on these streets, your voice is loud, and you continue to send a message to this administration that we will stand against any and all policies that target the most marginalized communities in this country, and that women are leading this resistance, and that if you want to know if you are part of the right resistance, make sure there are women at the head of it, and make sure that you're following women of color. Next up, I want to introduce a sister of mine who has been fighting for your children in the New York City and New York State public school system. She has been a fighter for education reform. She's a mother and a grandmother. You ain't going to believe it when you see her. Please give it up to Zakia Ansari from the Alliance for Quality Education.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? The announcement?
So before Zakia goes on, we need all of you to please move to the back. You are blocking the entrance, and so we thank you for being here, but we need you to move back to that area. And the sidewalk, please. Folks that are blocking the sidewalk, we're trying to be respectful of everybody's, of the pedestrians. So please, 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 please move to that area. Thank you.
All right. So we want to keep this going. We want everybody to be able to speak. So if everybody could just follow and do what is right and move to the back or wherever there's space, get a little closer, because we love each other and we want to hear everybody speak. That would be awesome, so we don't get shut down. We want to shut stuff down. We don't want to get shut down. So my name is Zakia Ansari. I'm the advocacy director for a statewide alliance called the Alliance for Quality Education. Last Saturday, we had a rally of almost 5,000 folks that started just a few blocks from here, across from Trump International, as a representation of what we don't want, but fighting the march was absolutely about everything we want in public education. While there is an immediate threat to education on a federal level, there is no doubt about that. With Betsy DeVos, there is an even a more relevant threat right now, which is our governor, Governor Andrew Cuomo. We have a 3-week window right now, a 3-week window to impact the New York State budget. Right now, the schools in New York State are owed $4.3 billion, not million, billion dollars with a B from the state. Out of that, $1.9 billion is owed to New York City public schools. That money belongs to black, brown, and poor children all across the state. 10 years, the state said we are owed that money, and we have still yet to receive it. So if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, and your kids go to school, and you're buying copy paper, and you're buying paper towel, and you're buying hand sanitizer, that is unacceptable. And so while we are pushing to ensure that the federal government does what they need to do by our children, we are holding our governor accountable. We need you to pull out your phones and call the governor today. You know what he said in response to our march? He called us some people. He called parents, students, and educators that took time out on a frigid day on Saturday to walk for education justice some people. Call 518-474-8390. Tell him you are not some people. We are not some people. We are the people. And it's time for him. It is time for him to stop hiding behind the rhetoric and sounding more like Trump than someone who's supposed to be a leader for our state and ensures that our most marginalized communities, our most marginalized children get the justice they need. 518-474-8390, because education justice is racial justice.
Give it up one more time for Zakia Ansari from the Alliance for Quality Education. I got a special surprise for y'all. I feel like I've known this lady my whole life. She's striking today. She's in solidarity today. Give it up for Angie Martinez from Power 105.
Ladies, what's up? You look beautiful in red, man. I'm so proud to be here today. I stand in solidarity with all of you and all of my friends. My radio sisters actually are here too. Shout out to my girl Laura Stiles. We all took off radio today. We were all striking for different reasons, but for the same reason. We are all striking for the same reason. We just want, the basics, man. We want equal right, like the basics. We want to be able to choose what we do with our bodies. We want to be able to, we want our kids to be able to afford school. We want to be paid the same thing that the men are paid, doing the same thing we're doing. We want our Muslim brothers and sisters to feel safe here and wanted and loved. Anyway, so we're striking for all those things. My friends are striking too, right? What are you guys striking for? Come on, Laura, say hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi, ladies, and all the men that are supporting us today. I just want to say how inspired and how strong you ladies make me feel today. I'm emotional. I stand for all my sisters who work hard. I want to be able to, my future children, my future daughters, to be able to feel inspired and strong. And today, I stand in support of Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood saved my life. It saved my best friend's life. Early detection. It was our form. When we didn't have insurance, that's where we went. So today, I stand in support of Planned Parenthood and all the wonderful women who took off, who are at work, still representing, wearing red, to that supporting local businesses. And I just want you to know, all of you guys today make me so proud. And thank you.
And the one more thing, and I said this to Linda yesterday, that the thing I'm most inspired about all the women up here that are doing the work every day, it's the endurance. It's like, we have to have it, because every day we wake up and there's something to fight for. So stay motivated. Look to each other for that inspiration and that motivation, because we gotta resist, and we gotta keep resisting, and we have to keep resisting. So stay motivated, stay inspired, and God bless. Enjoy today.
Give it up one more time for Angie from Power 105 and Laura from Hot 97. So you see this gentleman up here in the blue, right? You see him on the stage? NYPD's telling y'all you gotta get off the sidewalk. I'm just letting you know. I'm doing my part, brother. So there's another area that has been opened up. We can't block the sidewalk for pedestrians that are not part of this effort. So if you guys don't mind going up 58th Street, as you can see, there's a big area that has been created for y'all. Just keep on walking, keep on marching up to 58th Street. I see a little movement there. I'm doing my best. So, bringing up another fabulous sister. You know, oftentimes when we're talking about police violence, one of the responses that we get from the opposition is black on black crime. But what people don't know is those who are doing the hard work in the local communities, those who are doing gun violence prevention work, empowering communities, teaching alternative solutions, come from those communities. So it is with deep honor and privilege that I introduce to you Miss Erica Ford from Life Camp.
Peace to all the queens out there. I just want to take a second to also look at the fact that we had Laura Stiles and Angie Martinez from Hot 97, because we don't stay in barriers and boxes. We come together because we are strong women, and no companies and institutions can keep us separated. We are one. And so although you're going to hear a lot of fabulous speeches about issues, and there's many issues, many people for us to deal with. What I want to give you is a tool for us as women to deal with it. And what I want to say is that every day that we have to take a minute in the morning and just stop and breathe and be still. Because if we're not preparing our minds for this work, then we get destroyed by judgment, by jealousy, by ego, by envy, and a lot of other things that keep us as fabulous women from working together. Your issue is not greater than my issue. My struggle for freedom is not greater than your struggle for freedom. Because I am a black woman in America does not make anyone better than me. We are one. And if we do not stay, you know, when you go to the plane, they give you an oxygen mask and say, put your mask on first and then put your child's mask on. So every day, let's put our mask on and breathe from the inside of our internal freedom, and let's kill this beast of jealousy, envy, and injustice in America. Peace.
Give it up one more time for Erica Ford. I want to introduce to you an organizer with the Women's March. You know, these actions that we do, there's a lot of unsung heroes and people you may not see on national television and may not see in a newspaper, but are working just as hard as everybody else. And I'm deeply honored to introduce to you a sister who has been working hard on this day, Day Without a Woman. Please give it up to Women's March organizer, Tabitha St. Bernard.
I stand before you here as an immigrant from Trinidad and Tobago. I am an organizer, I am a mother, I am a sister, and it is an honor to stand with all of you. Today, I woke up and my husband took over. He took care of my son. My son is with him all day at work today. And all of you guys here who are striking, you're standing for every woman who is not able to strike. And we thank you for that. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for your support. And thank you for standing every day for yourself and for every other woman.
So I want to bring up to the stage a powerful woman who's been organizing for decades here in New York City with the Malcolm X grassroots movement, but also is part of Moms Rising, Monifa.
How's everybody out there? I want you all to know that in addition to the millions and millions of women who marched back in January, the millions of women who are on strike today, we stand on the shoulders of very powerful ancestors, our mothers who came before us, and we're going to shout them out. Are y'all ready? When I say one of our ancestors, I want you to say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Helen Chavez. Say her name. Yuriko Chiyama. Say her name. Ida B. Wells. Say her name. Ella Baker. Say her name. Fannie Lou Hamer. Say her name. Sandra Bland. Say her name. Ayanna Jones. Say her name. We stand here together and I strike for the mothers of those who have lost their children to police violence. Mothers like Constance Malcolm, the mother of Ramali Graham, who right here in New York has been waiting 5 years for justice. I want us all, as we strike today, to remember that there are mothers here, right here in our city, who will need us to stand with them every day. The mother of Eric Garner, Glenda Carr, say her name. And we must pledge and we must promise that while we strike for our rights as workers and as women, we will never forget the mothers of our movement. Peace.
Give it up one more time for Monifa Bandili for Moms Rising. Next up, we have a longtime activist and organizer in New York City. We led the campaign to incorporate Muslim school holidays in the New York City public school system together. We also ran a campaign to end the New York Police Department's unwarranted surveillance program of the Muslim community together. Please give it up to longtime organizer Faiza Ali.
How are you doing, New York City? It is we. It is all of us. It is women who make New York City run. It is we. It is all of us. It is women who make this nation run. So make no mistake, there is no progress without women. We know a woman's worth. We know our contribution. So today we are standing here not only to show our power and to rise as we do each and every single day. Today we are here to strike. I strike today for equal pay, for equal work, because our fight is a fight for economic justice. I strike for my mom, for my Ami, my sisters, my 2 nieces, all the proud brown Muslim women in my life, because our fight is a fight for racial justice and for freedom. I strike today, sisters, because until President Agent Orange is still in office, our fight is a fight against fascism, against misogyny, and against Islamophobia. Today, we are reminded, as Monifa has told us, that we come from a lineage of women who are freedom fighters. And those who are out here today, we know what our responsibility is. We will continue to defy. We will continue to stand up. We will continue to resist. It is an honor to be out here with you today. But today is not the only day we're going to be out here. We are committed to be out here for as long as it takes. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
The irony that Muslim women are oppressed when you have met some of the most powerful Muslim women here in New York City. Give it up one more time to Faiza Ali. I have 4 biological sisters, but in this movement I have gained women who are more than just sisters to me. They are leaders. They have led movements in this country, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the Executive Director of the Gathering for Justice, an organization working to end child incarceration in this country, a mentee of the legendary Harry Belafonte, a Chicana Mexican-American woman, and one of the national co-chairs for the Women's March on Washington. Give it up to Carmen Perez.
How's everyone doing? On January 21st, when I celebrated my birthday with all of you, I saw a sea of pink. And today, on International Women's Day, I see a sea of red. And we did that. We all did that. And so I want to stand here before you as a daughter of an undocumented woman, of a sister of an formerly incarcerated person, and a sister who lost her life at the age of 19. And so when I stand here before you, I bring all of me. I bring all of me because I am not monolithic, and I know you aren't either. And so I am proud to be here and fighting for something. Number 45 is gonna hear us loud and clear. Not just today, but every day, because we have to keep on showing up for one another. My struggle and my liberation is bound in your liberation. When I wake up every single day, I think about the people who don't have a voice, who don't have a platform, who don't have a stage. I think about women with disabilities who can't be here and march with us. I think about those that are incarcerated, our young women who are exposed to partner violence. I strike for them. I strike for our undocumented sisters who are at this moment not able to strike because they are in fear of being deported. I strike for them. I strike for all of you women who wore the pink hats. We love the pink hats. And I strike for the women who wake up every single day feeling hopeless. I hope that you know that we love you and that you are necessary. And that today, as you wear red, wear it with pride. Because red doesn't only represent revolutionary love. It represents sacrifice. The sacrifice that our sisters and our mothers and our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers made for us to have a better life. And so I thank all of you. I thank all of you. All of you. Because we see you. We see you, and we are here in solidarity with you. Thank you.
Let's give it up one more time for my sister Carmen Perez. We talked about striking for women who have lost their children to police violence. We talked about striking for women who have lost their children to gun violence. I want you to hear from one of those mothers, a powerful, strong sister who continues to stand up for the rights of all communities to live in safety. Please help me welcome Cheyenne Norman, mother of 4-year-old Lloyd Morgan Jr., who was killed by a stray bullet in his community.
Hello, and great to see all the ladies out here today. My story is not a common story. I took my son out to the park in 2012 to go hang out with to hang out with my best friend And in the process of us out there in the park having a great day, gang members came out and began to shoot over the park where my son was. Excuse me, this is a really tough story to tell. Thank you. When I was out there, my son, the only one that was an innocent 4 years old, ended up dying that night. I've been on the front line ever since. I will not sit back in the background and let anybody else make decisions for me and my family. That's not gonna happen. I sat back, and sometimes life, you have to roll with it, but there's things that we can do to not make these things the worst, the hardest for us. I'm glad to see all of these women out here today, because this has really, really boosted me, and you don't even understand how much, to know that we are not out here alone, and we are doing this together. I can't ask for more, and it's not just the women, it is the men that are out here as well. I want to continue to say thank you. Let's rise, people. Let's rise.
Sheann loves you too. Give it up one more time for Sheann Norman. Don't forget about these mothers. They need your strength and your resilience and your voices every day. And I want to give a shout out to the brothers that are out here today in solidarity with their sisters. This has always been a movement led by women, but is welcome people who believe that women's rights are human rights and that women deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. So we welcome you here today, and we love you. Shout out to the partners, the husbands, those who picked up the kids, those who are making lunches for the kids and allowing for their women in their lives to strike today. So love to you. Please help me give it up to Molly Gay from Lady Parts Justice League.
Hello, everyone. This is amazing. Forgive me. I've never spoken at a rally before. I'm nervous AF. I don't deserve to be up here with these incredible people, but I'm going to do my best. Holy crap. Okay. You guys, you look amazing. Okay. My name is Molly Gaby, and I'm a writer and performer with Lady Parts Justice League. Woo! So we were founded in 2015 to destigmatize. Sorry, I'm so nervous, guys. We use humor. I got this. I'm a freaking comedian. I can do this. Okay. We were formed to use humor to destigmatize abortion and expose the extremist anti-choice forces working to destroy access to reproductive rights in all 50 states. We do the job that the media does in creating provocative and hopefully hilarious videos that bring attention to discriminatory abortion laws that profoundly and disproportionately impact poor women and women of color. We're really excited to announce that this summer we're kicking off a 7-week, 15-state comedy and clinic support tour in conjunction with independent abortion providers. Yes, join us if you can. We're planning a route that will take us to some of the most besieged clinics and states where reproductive health care is under attack. Today, on International Women's Day, we want to honor Lisa Brown, a tireless advocate for reproductive rights who inspired our mission and name, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. Lady Parts Justice came from an incident involving a former Michigan State representative and a tireless advocate for abortion rights named Lisa Brown. In 2012, at the same time we were developing our organization, Lisa was fighting against dozens of horrible, regressive anti-abortion bills in the state capitol. In one contentious battle, the Speaker of the House banned Lisa from the State House floor for using the word vagina when arguing against transvaginal ultrasound bill. A bill that would have forced pregnant people to undergo a state-mandated transvaginal probe before they could have an abortion. When she asked what she should use instead of vagina, the Speaker of the House suggested something less offensive, like lady parts. Yeah. The actual offense, a politician who was offended by the word vagina, yet felt an absolute entitlement to legislate it, inspired us to take Lisa Brown's fight and expose this kind of a hypocrisy by choosing Lady Parts Justice as our name. Like Nasty Women Unite or Pussy Grabs Back, Lady Parts Justice is a clapback to yet another extremist politician feeling entitled to legislate bodily autonomy. At LPJ, we don't connect reproductive parts with gender. We advocate strongly for the reproductive health and rights of trans men, trans women, and all non-binary people. We believe that whatever your gender, you have the right to access safe, dignified, affordable reproductive health care. Thank you so much.
That was pretty good for the first time. Give it up to Molly. Next, we have former candidate for New York City Public Advocate and founder of Girls Who Code. Give it up to Reshma Sojani.
So, if you're an immigrant or a daughter of an immigrant, I want to hear you. So here's the thing. I am too. I'm the daughter of refugees. And if this president was alive when my parents were expelled from their homeland, they wouldn't be here today. In 1973, my parents were torn from their country. 2 generations of my family was born in Uganda, and a crazy man came to power. And he just decided that it was the brown people in the country that were causing economic problems. And so he gave them 90 days to leave, or they'd be shot on spot. My parents were 2 of 1,000 refugees who got asked to come here. They were lucky. They were fortunate. And so my father came here, he worked as a machinist, and my mother sold cosmetics. But every day they worked hard and they fought for that American dream. And because of them, I am spending my life teaching young girls how to computer program, right? But if you were to ask this president if he believes that my parents are worthy, that I am worthy, he would say no. And that is a lie. A lie. So we have an obligation to make sure that we are not bystanders in what I believe is one of our country's biggest tragedies. I'm on the phone every day with young, undocumented girls who are part of my program, and they are scared. And they are not leaving their homes because they think that they are going to be torn apart from their parents. And every day I see young girls in my program who are building algorithms to find cures for cancer, who are building machine learning tools to help track where Zika is going, who are building technology tools so all of us can be better protesters and activists. This is what is at risk. And so we got to get up every single day and fight. I'm a mom, like many of us here are, right? And we got a lot to do. Not just run organizations, but take care of our young ones. But every single day, I use my voice, and I need each and every one of you to do the same. It's gonna be a long road, ladies, a long road. But we can do this, and we can show our power. So we must resist. Resist.
Let's give it up for Reshma. So I have a message from our trans community, and so I'm going to read it to all of you. Today, as we celebrate women, we must be accountable to the ways that we still fall short in fighting gender oppression. Trans women, trans men, and gender non-conforming people are not here today because they feel unsafe. They are excluded from our spaces and in the dialogues that we have about gender. We must do better. We must work harder to include them, the way that we ask to be included. As our full selves, without harassment, without discrimination and violence. We must work harder to center their voices and to let them lead us. So as long as any of us is unfree, none of us are free. Thank you.
This movement that we're a part of is an intergenerational movement, and the voices of young people are important and center. Please give it up to a fierce young leader that works against trafficking. She's a member of her local community board, politically active, one of the most eloquent young people in this entire country. Give it up to Victoria Pinnell.
As I stand before you this afternoon, there is something that I must say. Thank you, God, for January 21st, where the march, protest, rally, gathering, whatever you want to call it, was not only the largest in the history of the United States, but also the most peaceful. That is the power of women. That is why I know that if a woman had been elected president November 8th, we wouldn't be in this 47-day and counting nightmare that gets worse with every tweet from president number 45. Hello to my sisters here and across the country, and to my brothers who are man enough to stand beside us on this International Women's Day and our own National Day Without a Woman. In the past, I have used this day to talk about modern day slavery and child sex trafficking, something that the current president knows about all too well. We have come together because we know a dictator and a democracy cannot share the same space. When decisions are made based on ego rather than common sense, you won't get anything but chaos. As a young woman, I am extremely concerned about my future and the future of my peers under this administration. As I prepare for college, I'm mindful that advancements made to help students obtain a higher education is in jeopardy. When we are looking at reforms to take away free lunches from children, food out of a child's mouth, I shudder to think what else is coming that will affect our educational system in a negative way. Number 45 used the gathering of representatives from historical black colleges and universities not to support educational opportunities, but as a photo opportunity and for Kellyanne Conway to get even more comfortable on the Oval Office couch. When you have a president who thinks Frederick Douglass is alive and a Secretary of Education who is totally clueless on a public school system, you and I have every right to be angry. What we are not going to do is let fear paralyze us and be inactive. One of the biggest acts I can do and you can do to help bring on change is to vote. Never let anyone deter you from your right to vote. Not voting is not a productive form of resistance. You have more than just candidates on a ballot. You have local and state issues to vote on. With courts upholding states' voting ID laws, they're trying to make it harder than ever to exercise your right to vote. If voting wasn't so important, they wouldn't be trying this hard to stop you. Churches and civil rights organizations, I ask of you today to help those who need assistance in obtaining identification, transportation to the polls, or whatever is needed for our brothers and sisters to be able to cast their votes. As I talk about voting, I'm reminded of the history of bloodshed and the loss of life in the fight for the right to vote. It's a powerful reminder that fighting requires sacrifice. Some poor woman right now may have lost a job because she joined women across the nation in solidarity to say, today is the day I stand up for my rights. Today is the day she said no to being passed over for promotion because she is not a male. Today is the day she tells America that the drug problem we face now, Trump labels a health epidemic unlike the 80s when it was a drug epidemic. Today is the day she accepts incomplete on her school assignment so she can stand before you to say young people will sacrifice and do whatever it takes to show this administration that we have just as much determination and tenacity as the freedom fighters of the 60s. Today, she says no to solitary confinement in prisons, while those who can afford high-priced lawyers receive probation or mansion confinement. Today, she says you cannot grab my vagina without my permission and think it is wanted or acceptable. Today, she accepts the fact that Americans of all races, color, economic status, ages, sexual orientations will continue to come together, link arm in arm, stand shoulder to shoulder to build a human wall to protect our basic human rights, say yes to democracy and no to dictatorship. America has derailed. And there is nothing great about a derailment. Women, it is up to us to get America back on track and to that destination often talked about but never reached, the station named Liberty and Justice for All. Yes, we can.
They ask us, where do we find hope? Where do we find optimism? Our optimism is in the young people like Victoria Pinnell. So, remember this day, March 8th, 2017, because maybe in just a few years, you may be going to the polls to put a woman like Victoria Pinnell. When I say a day without a woman, you say a day without me. You ready? A day without a woman. A day without me. A day without a woman. A day without me. A day without a woman. A day without me. A day without a woman. A day without me. So, y'all want to raise your fist with me a little bit? You feeling powerful today? I don't believe you. You feeling powerful today? All right, so if you're like me, I got ADHD. I don't like to be in one space. I just don't like to be. So we are all going somewhere together. Y'all going? Y'all want to come? All right. So y'all gotta listen really carefully. So we're going to be walking up the north side here, 59th Street. We're gonna make a right on Broadway and a right on 61st Street. And we're gonna make a human wall around the Trump International Hotel. So that's news to you and everybody else that's out here. So I want you to watch out for those who are walking to you, walking around you. Watch the children. Mind the elders that are in the group. Mind our brothers and sisters with disabilities. Take care of each other. And we're going to meet you on the other side. So y'all ready?